Yesterday, I made a video about unemployment compensation, or the unemployment income that some of us received in 2020 because of the coronavirus pandemic. Yesterday's video was about whether or not that unemployment compensation is taxable, and I forgot to mention a few things, so I'm going to mention them today in this video. I encourage you to watch the video from yesterday and the one from today to get all of the information about whether or not your unemployment compensation for 2020 is taxable. Hi, my name is Steve Hunt. I am a certified public accountant, and I'm the consultant for prosperity and adventure, which means I partner closely with business leaders and other self-employed individuals to help them reach their dreams faster. I'm also the owner of collegetaxrefunds.com, where I work with recent college students and their parents and families to help them collect thousands of dollars on their old tax returns that they don't even realize they missed. So if you have a recent college student in your family, have them check out collegetaxrefunds.com to see if they can get any more money on their old taxes. Like I say, today I want to talk about unemployment income or unemployment compensation, again for the year 2020, the year of the coronavirus pandemic, and whether or not that income is taxable. And as I've already mentioned, I have already made a video about this. Please go check it out. It's only a few minutes long. This video will also be very short. I just want to touch on a couple things I forgot to say in yesterday's video. So as a reminder, the first $10,200 of unemployment compensation in 2020 is now tax-free for yourself. And if you're married filing jointly, you also get another $10,200 of tax-free unemployment compensation for your spouse. So a total possible of $20,400. Again, that's only if each of you got at least $10,200 of unemployment compensation. So it's important to note that if one of you got $20,000 of unemployment compensation and one of you only got $5,000 of unemployment compensation and you're filing jointly, well, the one who got $5,000 has all of their $5,000 of unemployment compensation tax-free, but the one who got $20,000 only gets $10,200 of their unemployment compensation tax-free. So the total amount tax-free in this case would be $15,200 tax-free. So you can't, if you don't use up all of your $10,200, you can't let your spouse use the remaining portion. It's up to $10,200 for each spouse. And what's also I forgot to mention yesterday was that this is only for individuals whose adjusted gross income, before figuring out whether or not you can make your unemployment compensation tax-free or not. So if your adjusted gross income before this is $150,000 or lower, and usually when adjusted gross income is the key to determining a tax provision like this, there's one adjusted gross income for people filing singly or head of household, and there's another adjusted gross income number for those who are married filing jointly. For this one, there's not. It's the same. It's $150,000 across the board. So if you're single and your income is below $150,000, then you get this tax-free $10,200 of unemployment compensation for 2020 if you had that unemployment compensation. And if you're married, you also get the $10,200 per spouse if you're married filing jointly, only if your adjusted gross income on your joint tax return is $150,000 or below. That's something I failed to mention yesterday. I also want to point out that your state might have different provisions. So you don't have to report this unemployment compensation on your federal tax return for 2020, but you might still have to report the full amount of unemployment compensation on your state tax return. So be sure to check out the laws for your state as to whether or not your state follows the same types of rules and laws as the federal return or not. I also want to point out that if you already filed your 2020 tax return before this provision was announced back on March 11th with the American Rescue Plan Act, then you are going to be able to get some money back, some taxes back that you already paid on that unemployment compensation. And in fact, if it reduces your adjusted gross income enough that you can now claim the earned income credit, then you're going to be able to qualify for that additional credit. So this can be a very valuable change in the tax law for many people out there who've already filed their 2020 tax returns. But the IRS today announced that they don't want you to file an amended tax return just yet. So once again, if you've already filed your 2020 taxes and you're going to benefit from this new provision about not having to pay tax on your unemployment income, don't file an amended tax return just yet. Wait for the IRS to give more directions. It's possible that the IRS is simply going to recalculate your taxes by themselves so that you don't even have to file an amended tax return. They know that you got $10,200 of unemployment compensation, and so did your spouse, and so they'll just simply remove that from the computation of your taxes, and they'll send you a deposit, direct deposit or a check or whatever, refunding you the difference that you would have paid if you had filed your tax return with this knowledge already. So as of right now, don't file any amended returns. Let's wait and see if the IRS can do it by themselves. And if they can't, they'll issue some guidance and they'll tell you to go back and file an amended or a fixed tax return for 2020. For those of you who still haven't filed your tax return yet for 2020, and you want to use this provision because you received unemployment compensation, you also need to wait just a few more days because the IRS is still putting out their regulations and their instructions, and the tax software companies like TurboTax and other companies that your CPA might use, they're all trying to update, they're frantically trying to update their tax software for this new provision. They're going to fix the software that makes the 2020 tax returns, and so the software isn't doing tax returns right now. So basically, anybody who received unemployment compensation last year in 2020 should not, for the next couple of days, file a tax return or file an amended tax return. You're just going to have to wait a little bit in order to take advantage of this provision. So if you have any questions about this provision or anything else about the taxes, please put them in the comments below. I would love for you to subscribe to this channel if you'd like to get more information about taxes and other financial advice. And I also would encourage you to like and pass this video on to those who you think might benefit. Thanks so much. Have a great day.